nails.
For many cancer patients, treatment requires frequent appointments and visits. It can be an added burden when those patients have to travel long distances to get to the frequent treatments and follow-up they need. That's why our Stark County community has come together to help create the Timken Family Cancer Center at Aultman Hospital. The Timken Family Cancer Center is a comprehensive 58,000 square foot facility that is being built right now and is scheduled to open in 2022. With this state-of-the-art cancer center, Aultman is taking its leading cancer care to a new level by bringing all cancer services, specialists, and support under one roof, streamlining care for the thousands of patients Aultman treats every year. Having these resources all together makes everything more convenient for the patient access to treatment areas, wayfinding, and treatment itself. To donate, learn more, or see the progress on the Timken Family Cancer Center, visit aultman.org/Timken Family Cancer Center. That's aultman.org/Timken Family Cancer Center.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight. And again, as we really love to be able to provide this to you in many different ways, you can hear us on the radio here at WHBC, but also you can find us on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel, our video broadcast of this interview and this show. So if you want to do that, you can check it out at 1480 WHBC. And over the last couple of weeks with Spotlight, we've been focusing on Aultman Hospital's care and treatment of cancer patients, and obviously talking about the brand new or being built Timken Family Cancer Center at Aultman, and which is going to be a fantastic place. But today we're gonna get a little personal. We're going to talk a little bit about going through the process and what it's actually like to be a cancer patient. And today we have with us Jennifer Roth. How are you, Jennifer?
Hi. I'm good, thank you.
So first of all, if you're watching on video, you see that she is a nurse at Aultman and also is a cancer survivor. So we want to tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you know, where you're from, your family, your job, that kind of stuff. So we can kind of get to know you.
I'm Jennifer and I'm from the Canton area. I've lived here all my life. I went to Canton McKinley and graduated from there, and then even stayed in this area to get my nursing degree. I graduated from Malone College. I am a wife. My husband his name is Mark. He works here at Aultman as well. We have 2 children. We had both of our children here at Aultman, so we're very much an Aultman family. My parents still live in this area. My sister, who lives down the street from me, lives in this area. And I've worked here at Aultman for 25 years, and I absolutely love working here. It's a pleasure coming here every day and, having my family here. So it was definitely a unique experience, going through cancer, not only as a patient, but having the experience of being a nurse and seeing it from both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean I'm thinking you're talking about your blood family and being close by, and that's a good support system. But then you have your work family, which was probably a whole nother set of people too.
Right, absolutely. The second that I found out that I had cancer, it was just the amount of support from my work family was unbelievable. Marie, who was at the time of my diagnosis, she was the manager over our inpatient cancer program, and she immediately took me in her office, sat me down, gave me papers, and went over everything and said, here's what they're going to do, here's what you can expect, these are the side effects you're going to have, and if you have these, this is what you need to do. And I always say knowledge is very much power, especially if you get the right kind of knowledge. Because I'll tell you, when you first get diagnosed with cancer, you start going through treatment, you just start, the first thing you want to do is just Google everything in sight. And there's so much information out there. It's hard to sift through what's good information, what's not so good information. So having, my oncology nurse friends sit down and say, this is the deal, was really supportive. That was definitely an advantage there, but
Yeah. Well, let's learn your story. I mean, let's go back to the beginning and talk about how you found out and what exactly happened.
So my grandmother passed away back, like I was just barely born when she passed away from breast cancer. That always weighed heavily in my mind. And when I went to my GYN, I explained to him, this is something that happened in my family. I want to make sure that I am staying on top of it. So I was very insistent on making sure that the minute I was qualified to get mammograms, I was getting those done. And at the time of my diagnosis, I was healthy. My husband and I love to travel, and one of my dream goals was, going to the Smoky Mountains and hiking, but I knew I needed to lose some of the weight I gained from, having my 2 kids. And so I was eating healthy, exercising, going to the gym every day. I had just lost 40 pounds. And so, it was completely off my radar. But in my mind, it was kind of a blessing because my gynecologist at the time had retired and they were switching his practice over to like a new gynecologist. And I had always gone in around May and June to get my mammograms. And because of the switchover, my mammograms were delayed until around October. And I went in, I had a mammogram. I got a call that, they needed me to come back because there was something, off on the first mammogram. So in the second one, I had the second mammogram. My husband came because he was concerned. And then the nurse down in the breast care center here at Aultman pulled us off to the side and explained to us like what they were seeing on the mammogram, that there was some calcification there. I was kind of a little upset because I was, I'm a nurse. I do myself, exams. I was frustrated I didn't catch it myself, but she explained to me it was so deep down. The only way they would have found it was on the mammograms. I am a huge advocate of mammograms. During, October, I post, please, you never know how it'll save your life, but it will. And thankfully, I feel like because of that delay, they caught it early and it was caught in time that it didn't have a chance to spread anywhere else. And I keep thinking, and whether or not it's true or not, I just feel like had I had that back in June, who knows if it would have been detected. And because I was estrogen positive and progesterone positive, and I also had the HER2 positive, which was the HER2 is an aggressive form. Who knows what would have been like if I had to wait until the following June to have my mammogram done, because when they did the biopsy, I had microcells in my lymph nodes, which meant that they really caught it early. So I was very happy with that.
Wow. They always say things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I just want to believe that there was like a little angel sitting on my shoulder and there was a reason for that delay. But
yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. We have to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk about, your reaction to this, your family's reaction, your husband, of course, and how you dealt with all of that. And we will do that here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Sourcebook is here. It's the area's most valuable resource guide for residents and businesses alike, filled with online and on-site contacts, activities, destinations, and more. It's everything you need to know about Starr County and beyond. Get your Sourcebook at WHBC Studios or go to WHBC.com for a list of pickup locations. Look for the $1,000 Visa Card Contest entry form inside. The entry to be postmarked by June 25th. The drawing set for June 30th. The 2021 Sourcebook. Pick one up today.
Want to turn your old, rusty hunk of junk in for a nicer ride, but think it's not even worth a tank of gas? Think again. Progressive Chevrolet will give you $5,000 for your trade, no matter the condition. That's right, $5,000 for any trade guaranteed when you buy any factory-certified pre-owned car, truck, or sport utility at Progressive Chevrolet in Massillon. Needs repairs? No problem. Any rusty, smelly, noisy hunk of junk gets you $5,000 guaranteed. $5,000 could help you get approved. No other dealer will give you $5,000 for your cruddy car, but Progressive Chevrolet will, guaranteed. Get $5,000 for your trade only at Progressive Chevrolet in Massillon. One trade per purchase. Offer applies to GM certified vehicles only. Does not apply to prior transactions and cannot be combined with any other advertised offers. See dealer for details. Ends June 30th, 2021. Get $5,000 for your trade only at Progressive Chevrolet in Massillon.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
At Packley, they pride themselves on serving families in Massillon and the surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion. The families they serve are their top priority and have set measures in place to help protect and accommodate the elderly, sick, and members of the public, and will make every effort to accommodate families in making arrangements, conducting services in any capacity needed to ensure their safety and comfort while honoring their loved one. Packley, serving the community with grace and compassion.
You want the truth on why I wake up looking so darn awesome? I take care of my skin. Not just my face, but more intimate skin. And when you've got incontinence, you sure need to.
Tena Intimates pads lock liquid in and are now 100% breathable to care for your intimate skin, day or night. Tena Intimates are now endorsed by the Skin Health Alliance. Visit tenasample.com for your free sample. Kind to skin, protects like Tena.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moraif, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
Progressive Motorcycle presents Road Wisdom from the Motor.
Half man, half motorcycle.
If you missed a turn, there's always another turn. Take it to get back to the turn you missed.
Use your turn signal.
Progressive Motorcycle also presents Roadside Assistance. Progressive Motorcycle, for those who were born to ride. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
My name is Cade Courtley, and this is my new show, Can You Survive This Podcast? I'll be drawing on my years as a former Navy SEAL platoon commander, sniper, and CIA contractor. The show is designed to teach you techniques that will increase your chances of survival if you happen to find yourself or your family in any life-threatening disaster scenario imaginable. Subscribe and listen for free on Spotify. Can You Survive This Podcast?
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Pam Cook with you this morning. We are talking about care and treatment of cancer, specifically at Aultman Hospital. And as they're getting ready to well, they're building right now, but getting ready to hopefully open their Timken Family Cancer Center sooner, and we're excited about that. But here, Jennifer Roth is with us today. She's actually an Aultman employee, but is also a cancer survivor, and she was kind of going over how you got to that point, Jennifer. And then, so what year was this? How long ago was this?
Well, it was I had my mammogram in 2015. And then I had my biopsy in November of 2015, which, I was going into it pretty positive, because when I met with the nurse in the breast care center, she said, well, a lot of these, 80% of these calcifications come back benign. So I thought, okay, there's still, a chance that this might not be anything. I went to my surgeon for the biopsy, and same thing, same communication. 80% of this is, comes back benign. So in November, I had my biopsy, and I'll never forget it, because my follow-up appointment was 1 week before Thanksgiving. And I just remember sitting in Dr. Sadie's office, and, he came in and he said to me, well, it came back positive. And I just sat there and I didn't say anything. And he looked at me and he said, were you expecting this? And then all of a sudden I started sobbing, and I said, no, I wasn't expecting this. 80% of these come back benign. So God love him. He was like, it was at the end of the day, because they saw me after my shift was over, and he's like, let me finish up with my other patients, and you will have my undivided attention for as long as you need me. And he took me to his office and, showed me everything, showed me the pathology reports, showed me what the potential plan was going to be. So, that was kind of hit me hard, even though in the back of my brain, I knew, like, my grandmother had breast cancer. So, and the year before I was diagnosed, my cousin, who was a year younger than me, she had battled breast cancer. So it was always in the back of my mind, but you always, pray and hope that, it turns out to be nothing. It was hard, because at that specific point, in October, my father-in-law was diagnosed with oral cancer, and he was being treated through the Aultman Cancer Center. Dr. Treehand was his physician. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law had asked me to come with them to their first appointment, just so that, like, they had, they're going through so much, and a lot of stuff was going on, and just to make sure, like, that, they understood what was going on, that we understood what was going on. We could, as a nurse, I could help them through this process. But the entire time I was sitting there, I knew I had this biopsy coming up, and I was thinking, Dr. Treehand, she's, the best breast cancer oncologist out there, and am I going to be sitting here as her patient here soon? So that was kind of an interesting scenario. And the other thing too was after Dr. Sadie told me that it was positive and gave me the treatment plan. And it was kind of funny too, because we had two young children. My oldest was 14, my youngest was 7 or 8. So my husband was at home with them, and he said to me, do you need me to come with you to this follow-up appointment? I said, no, don't bother. 80% of these come back, benign. Don't bother, just stay at home, take care of them. And then I walked out to my car and I sat there and I sobbed, and I was like, oh my husband is just starting to deal with the fact that his dad has oral cancer and is going through chemo treatments and had surgery. And how on earth am I going to go home and tell my husband, oh, hey, now not only do you have to worry about your dad, but now your wife has cancer, and we're going to be going through this at the same time together. So it was really difficult to go home after that and share that with him. But and he cried, and I still get a little choked up about it. But my oldest, she's 14, so that's kind of a tricky age, and she just immediately like ran up to her room and cried. But I think the hardest part was the next day she had school, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. And she got on the school bus, and the second she walked through the school door, she just started sobbing uncontrollably, and they scooped her up and took her to the principal's office. And, they called me and said, "Your daughter won't stop crying. What's going on?" And I said, "Well, this is what's happening. I just found out yesterday I have breast cancer, and I'm going to have to go through chemo and radiation." And I said, "She's having a hard time processing it." And they said, "Okay, thanks." And they told all of her teachers, and they were all very supportive. And she came home from school that night, and she's like, "Mom," she goes, "you're never going to believe what happened." I said, "What?" She goes, "I went to gym class and I started sobbing. And all of my friends," this was up at Oakwood Junior High, she said, "all of my friends in my gym class formed a circle around me." And I'm going to start crying. She's like, "They just all like started moving in closer to me and then hugged me and said, 'You're going to be okay.'"
Wow.
So it was very touching.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 years and I still get choked up about it.
I can't, and that's the thing about it, is that you don't really think about how many people it affects. You think about yourself, obviously, and your husband, and, but it's just, it's an unbelievable thing that, you have to go through. And oh my gosh, my mom also had breast cancer. She was in Florida and I was here. So that was terribly hard to not be there with her, and kind of help her through all of that. But, it's a really, really hard thing to deal with, but I know that you had a great support system, and I want to talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about your course of treatment and how things went and how your family dealt with that, and how Aultman's Cancer Center helped you with all of this. We'll talk about that after we take a quick break here for the news and some other things. And make sure you come back, because we'd love to have you here to find out more on Spotlight.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
If you're having a little trouble coming out of hibernation,
how do we go about it?
Check in on communities and businesses and find out how they're getting back into the swing of things. We're going to do this every day at 7:50
on Canton's Morning News.
Moving forward and making progress. Hi, I'm Pam Cook, News Talk 1480 WHBC. Now we've turned a corner, and we continue to provide you with the changes in our community. Be sure to check out our website daily for the latest at WHBC.com.
Progressive Chevrolet will triple your down payment. 100 gets you 300. 500 triples to 1,500. $1,000 becomes $3,000. Progressive Chevrolet will triple your down payment up to $3,000. Getting triple your down payment could help you get approved when you buy any factory-certified used vehicle in stock. Only at Progressive Chevrolet in Massillon. Offer applies to Chevy factory-certified used vehicles only. Discount up to $3,000. Does not apply to prior transactions and cannot be combined with any other advertised offer. Dealer contribution may affect consumer cost. See dealer for details. Ends June 30th, 2021. Need to get approved for a nice in-stock factory-certified used vehicle? Got cash for a down payment, but wish you had more? Progressive will triple your down payment to help you get approved. And now, with the ultimate collection of SUVs and Silverados, there's no better time to shop, and there's no better place than Progressive Chevrolet on Hills and Dales Road in Massillon.
Attention Massillon and Mount Eaton. ARE Truck Cab Manufacturing is seeking second shift production operators to be a part of their team. They offer weekly pay of $16 to $18.50 per hour, full benefits and paid holidays. Visit 4are.com/careers and apply today.
Our children are the future of our great nation.
but the radical left is targeting their education, bringing radical critical race theory into Ohio classrooms, indoctrinating our students to despise and reject the history of America, to see everything through the lens of race, to embrace Marxism as a tool to control behavior. It's extreme and it's dangerous. I'm Jane Timken. I'm a mom, a fighter, and a proud pro-Trump candidate for United States Senate. I won't sit back and let the radical left try to turn our children against America and transform our nation into a socialist country. As your next senator, I will fight for you, your family, and your children's right to an education that celebrates the greatness and values of America. I will stop the radical left and advance President Trump's America First agenda. I'm Jane Timken, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jane Timken for Ohio.
It's WHBC on YouTube.
Search for our channel at News Talk 1480 WHBC, Canton, Ohio on YouTube.
I'm Verndale from Verndale's Water Center. Did you know Verndale's Water Center is the best place to buy your salt, softener salt, agricultural salt, even swimming pool salt? So make Verndale's Water Center your source for high quality salt at a great price.
WHBC AM Ken, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, a COVID vaccination clinic is being held at Gervasi's Villa Grande today. It'll go from noon until 4, and it's being put on by the Canton City Health Department. No appointment is necessary. Akron police say a 12-year-old is recovering from gunshot wounds to the chest and arm after a group of kids found a gun in a house and they were playing with it when it went off. Despite CDC guidance that says fully vaccinated people don't need to wear masks, most inoculated Americans are wearing them anyway. A new Gallup poll, 90% of Americans who have received both doses of the vaccine or one dose of the J&J are still wearing masks when they venture out of their homes. At least 7 people are dead. Dozens more are injured in a bus crash south of Tijuana, Mexico overnight. Police department there says the bus was carrying 50 Hyundai factory workers when it rolled over on a highway near Rosarito. Cause of that accident is not clear. The Cleveland Indians beat St. Louis 10-1. Shane Bieber, again, a great outing for the Tribe last night. They play the Cardinals again tonight in St. Louis. 7:35 is the pregame right here on 1480 WHBC. More news coming up at 10 o'clock. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Couple of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Partly cloudy and humid otherwise. High for the rest of the day, 81. Cloudy and warm tonight, low 70. Look for a thunderstorm tomorrow. Cloudy and humid otherwise with a high of 80. And Friday we'll have a blend of sun and clouds with a passing shower in the area. A humid day with a high of 85. I'm Holly Holdren for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
There's so much texting going on. Hey, get your phone out and put our new text number in it. Anytime you want to text us, you can.
Pam Cook, Jim Michaels, J.D. DeAngelis, John Bozica, Brian Novak, Kenny, and J.T.
330-583-4591.
JT here again with Samuel Rinaldi, Paramount Elite. Sam, spring means crazy weather, man. How do we protect our homes? JT, call Team Paramount. Whether it's wind, hail, flood, or fire, Team Paramount has your back. Call for your free interior or exterior property inspection, or if it's an emergency board up, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, Team Paramount's available. Call now, 330-842-9181, or check us out on the web at ParamountEliteOH.com.
Are you tired of the same old grind? ARE Truck Cab Manufacturing is seeking second shift production operators to be a part of their team in Massillon and Mount Eaton. And they mean business, with weekly pay of $16 to $18.50 per hour, shift premiums, full benefits, and paid holidays. ARE is a truck hero company. It offers a brand new climate-controlled working environment, paid training, and room for advancement. Visit 4are.com/careers or call or text 833-878-4376 to apply today.
For many cancer patients, treatment requires frequent appointments and visits. It can be an added burden when those patients have to travel long distances to get to the frequent treatments and follow-up they need. That's why our Stark County community has come together to help create the Timken Family Cancer Center at Aultman Hospital. The Timken Family Cancer Center is a comprehensive 58,000 square foot facility that is being built right now and is scheduled to open in 2022. With this state-of-the-art cancer center, Aultman is taking its leading cancer care to a new level by bringing all cancer services, specialists, and support under one roof, streamlining care for the thousands of patients Aultman treats every year. Having these resources all together makes everything more convenient for the patient access to treatment areas, wayfinding, and treatment itself. To donate, learn more, or see the progress on the Timken Family Cancer Center, visit altman.org/Timken Family Cancer Center. That's altman.org/Timken Family Cancer Center.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And good morning, everyone. And today we have our spotlight shining on the care and treatment of cancer patients at Aultman Hospital as they prepare to open the Timken Family Cancer Center at Aultman. And our guest today is Jennifer Roth. And Jennifer is actually an employee at Aultman, but also a cancer survivor. And we've been hearing her story. And it's, sometimes you listen to that, and Jennifer, it's hard to listen to. And I'm sure for you, it's probably very hard to talk about as you look back at the path. But once you got the diagnosis and you told your husband and you told your family, then, and you're kind of slapping in your face reality, then where did you go? What did you do?
Well, from there, the nice thing about Aultman is they have a lot of support. We had our, and she still is, the breast cancer navigator, Erin, sat me down, which was really helpful because there is, you feel like you're kind of sitting in limbo between the time of, being diagnosed and the time you get your treatment plan. Which I kind of feel like that's the worst place to be because you're freaking out. You want this cancer out of you. You want everything blown up out of your system. So having the navigator sit down and say, okay, we looked over everything. Dr. Treehan's going to be your oncologist. This is when your appointment's going to be. These are the chemo treatments you're going to get, and just giving me the whole plan. And then, she offered support throughout the whole treatment. So even when I went in to have my lumpectomy, she showed up, asked me if I was doing okay, if I needed anything. The best thing she gave me was this kit that had this little pillow in it, because I never realized, when you have a lumpectomy and you have some lymph nodes, removed in your armpit, just even putting your arm down was a challenge. And it's kind of funny. I still have that pillow. And, when I've had other people in my family go through treatments, because as soon as I was done with all of my treatments in December of 2016, by February of 2017, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. So, I held on to everything and gave that to my mom, and that was a huge help to her. So, the navigator was a good person to lean on. I know the navigator helped my father-in-law too. They just give you a sense of relief while you're waiting for your treatments to start. And then, Dr. Treehan is a phenomenal physician, such a caring soul. I swear everybody that has her as a oncologist, I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about her. She is really caring about her patients, follows them extensively after treatment's over. When she was making her rounds to the hospital, she'd run into my husband and he'd be like, oh, this is what's going on with Jen today. And, she'd be like, okay, well, you tell Jen to do da, 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 da. Or, if she ever saw my husband, she'd be like, well, how's Jen, doing and feeling in between appointments? So it was really great. There was so much support. It really helped. At the time I was diagnosed, I had also just got promoted to manager, and I'd only been a manager for 2 months. So I thought, oh gosh, this timing is horrible. Here I am trying to wrap my brain around a new job, and my father-in-law is going through treatment, but having a phenomenal boss, and I think she's listening today, but
good job.
outstanding. And love her to pieces. Couldn't ask for a better boss. She called me the day she knew I was going to see the surgeon to get my prognosis, if it was going to be negative or positive. And, she cried right alongside me and said, take whatever time you need. And I think that's hugely helpful. And, I was worried about my staff and how they would respond. Here they have a new boss, and now she's going to be in and out, in and out. But every round of chemo treatment I had, they had it marked on their calendars. And, 2 days before, sitting right in front of my office or sitting on my desk was a huge basket filled with anything and everything I needed to get through my chemo treatments. And even when I started radiation, they did a lot of research and asked around to see like what you needed to do, and had all kinds of creams and different things that you might get if you get radiation burn. So they responded really well. And even after my treatments were over, they were like, part of what we do on our team is some community outreach. So they were like, you know what, we want to do the Making Strides for Breast Cancer walk. So every year since I've been going through treatments, we've had a team, we've raised money, we've done the walk every year, and it's been really special to be able to do that with my staff. Just the undying support that I got from them. It was hugely helpful too, because my sister, who is a year younger than me, I couldn't thank her enough for all her support, because she came to me with my chemo treatments. She was like second mom to my kids when, I had, days where I didn't feel like I could get out of bed, and she kept them up and going and tried to keep things normal for them. My parents, same thing, like just, every Saturday, let's get out of the house, let's go out to eat, let's regroup. So that was nice. And even with the weekend, what was really special to me was the weekend I started losing my hair. I called my mom, and I'm, it's coming, but until it happens, you just don't realize the impact that it has. And, you just brush your hair lightly and a whole chunk falls out. And I called my mom, and, I said, my hair's starting to fall out. And my mom said, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to just let it fall out on its own, or do you want to do it yourself and just get it all off? And, and I said, you know what, let's just get it all out. So my mom came over with the razor that she uses on my dad's hair, and my sister came over, and both my girls were there. And, my mom, my sister, my two daughters, we all shaved my hair. They celebrated. They turned it into a celebration, and we went out to dinner that night and celebrated. And, they took a horrible situation and turned it around and made it one that I wasn't upset about. Like, we looked at it from a perspective of empowerment and taking control instead of the cancer taking control and being upset about it. So that's like one of the things that I will always cherish, is that moment. And, just unbelievable outpouring. All the managers and coworkers here at Aultman got together, and everybody donated a gift card so that my kids and husband didn't have to worry, that I didn't have to worry about making meals. They didn't have to worry about it. I swear there were so many, like, they didn't even have to cook for like 3 months. My best friend brought over food. It was just unbelievable. And I didn't realize how fortunate I was with that until during one of my rounds of chemo, they had it was kind of like an overflow unit where you didn't have like your own personal station. You were in this room with 4 other people, and there was a lady that was there that was elderly, and she didn't have any family, and a special service had to come pick her up. And I ended up in this overflow, which I didn't mind because I got to see other people that were going through what I was going through. But I felt really bad for her because she didn't have family. And I thought, gosh, I can't imagine going through this alone. This is such, the support has been a huge help. So I really found how grateful I was and how appreciative I was of the unending support that I had, because seeing this person, I just realized how incredibly lucky I was.
Where are you in your cancer journey now?
Well, I just was officially in December celebrated being a 5-year survivor, which that's the big goal, is to get to the 5-year mark. So, Dr. Trehan and Dr. Sadie, we all celebrated. After I was done with the chemo, the radiation, and then I had a year of Herceptin because I had HER2 positive. I was put on tamoxifen for 5 years. And then now, just because I'm so young, I'm only 48. I was 43 when I was diagnosed. In talking with Dr. Trehan, she gave me some options, and we decided we were going to keep going with oral medications for an additional 5 years, just to, make sure, because I am so young, that we're keeping this at bay and staying on top of it. And even after my treatment was over, just the community support that's out there. I was very active, like I said beforehand, going to the gym and starting to lose like 40 pounds. I felt like, and, I think that this is kind of maybe a big misconception with me, and maybe some other people too, is, when you're done with your treatment, things go back to normal. Like, you survived your treatment, the cancer's gone. Now you can just move on and be normal. But to me, it was much harder after all the treatment was done, because the support, the support's always there, but, people flooding you with food and, gifts and things like that, slowly went away. And, I figured, oh, great, I'm done. I'll go back to the gym and pick up where I left off. But it was much harder than that. And so during my radiation treatments, I was so gung-ho about getting back to my normal lifestyle. And I was sitting in Dr. Trehan's office, and there was a flyer for Live Strong program up at the North Canton Y, and I was like, noted it. And then sitting there during my radiation treatments, I saw the sign again, and then I saw it again somewhere else, and I'm like, okay, this is a sign I need to maybe see what this is all about. So I did participate in the Live Strong program. Wonderful program. I highly recommend it to anybody. I'm a huge advocate of that program. You go twice a week. Every week we met with a dietitian who goes over different things like what you can eat. Not that you can prevent cancer from coming back or getting it, but if you can ease the symptoms or recover quicker, just changing your diet can help with that.
Right.
And we the other big component was we had a personal coach there that helped us with the exercise piece of it, just because I didn't realize how much my joints ached, and the weight I put on from the steroids and everything like that is, instead of me going backward, picking up where I left off, giving me those baby steps to get back to where I need to be, was hugely helpful. So, I tell everybody, take advantage of those community resources out there.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Cancer Center and some of the things that we can do for everyone in the community. We'll take a quick break, and we will be back.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Menards has what you need for an outdoor update. Make your lawn stand out with Scott's Thicker Lawn. It's a combination of grass seed, fertilizer, and soil improver that makes your lawn thick and hardy. A bag covers up to 1,200 square feet. Save 11% on all grass seed, including Scott's Thicker Lawn. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through June 12th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, I'm Austin Carr, the Cavaliers, and I want to tell you a little bit about my COVID journey. I unfortunately got the virus, and it really is something that you don't want to get. So what I'd like to tell you to do is to get your vaccine. Not only do I want to protect myself, but I want to protect the other members of our community.
The Centers for Disease Control and Ohio Department of Health recommend that you get vaccinated now. Find your nearest site at gettheshot.coronavirus.ohio.gov. A message from CareSource.
At CDW, we get balancing disparate clouds can be messy.
Yep, it's like an ice cream cone. The more scoops you get, the greater the risk of failure.
Well, if you want 5 scoops, you should get 5 scoops. And with the Nutanix Enterprise Cloud solution orchestrated by CDW, you can manage applications and data across all your clouds from a single point of control.
Is it weird that my mouth is watering?
A little. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Nutanix.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Cleveland area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. 5005 Rockside Road, Suite 350, Independence, Ohio 44131.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. Whoa! And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Whew. For advice on solutions like XPS 13 laptops powered by Intel Evo platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
One bright day around 1884, Henry Timken had an idea while watching an overloaded freight wagon awkwardly navigate a turn. His invention of tapered roller bearings eventually brought planes, trains, and automobiles into the modern age, making a significant difference in billions of lives.
I'm Larry Hackenberg, and Timken's life is just one of the difference makers we've explored on our Time Machine radio shows. But today, I'd like to tell you about Hackenberg Financial Group, the difference makers with a more modest focus. We only want to make a difference in one life, yours, with custom strategies to smooth your life and retirement. Visit hackenberg.biz and explore the difference makers who work one life at a time.
Don't miss Country Music Duo of the Year, Dan and Shay. Sunday, September 12th at the Highway 77 Music Festival at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Joining Dan and Shay is Maddie and Tay, Tyler Farr, Eric Pasley, and country powerhouse Dustin Lynch. Get your festival tickets now for a full day of country hits with evening rockin' concerts from Dustin Lynch and Dan and Shay. Go to HallOfFameVillage.com. That's HallOfFameVillage.com.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now we just have a few minutes left in Spotlight this morning, and we're talking with Jennifer Roth and about the Aultman brand new Timken Family Cancer Center at Aultman Hospital and what Jennifer's gone through. Jennifer, tell me what you thought when you heard about the cancer center and what they were creating at Aultman.
Oh, I was very excited. At the time when I was finished with my treatment, the executive that was over my department was also over our cancer program. So right from the very beginning, I got to see some of the layout plans that they had in mind, and it was just so excited to see what they were trying to do, and and even looking at the final layouts of what they're doing and building now was extremely exciting. There was a lot of thought put into the planning of that, not only from a nursing perspective to, make it the design so that they can meet the patient's needs, but, quicker and better, but also keeping in mind that they had a lot of patient input into the design as well. And looking at the final product, it's amazing. It's very much like a healing environment. It's going to be absolutely beautiful when it's finished. I am excited. Every time I drive by it, I see more and more of it getting built, and I just get so excited for not only the patients that are going to be getting treated there, but also the staff that's going to have the opportunity to work in that building. It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. I think it's it's one of a kind, and the folks at Aultman, I know, are just excited and should be very proud of what's being created there. So, but Jennifer, I mean, I could sit here and talk to you for 1 hour is not enough. It is not enough, I'm telling you, because I know there's so much more to your story, and there's so many things that can help people. But that's what the Timken Family Cancer Center at Aultman can do as well. And hopefully folks will take advantage of that when they need it. And we appreciate you coming on today. It's been wonderful to sit and talk with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on and letting me share my story, and hopefully being able to reach somebody out there who's going through this, and, shedding some light and being a hope for them as well.
And folks, don't forget, you can always check this out at our Facebook page as well, at 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
It's time to get back together. You plan the party, you bring the family, and we'll bring the food. Our friends at That Little Italian Kitchen will provide enough food for 30 people. Think great Italian dinner items and desserts. They'll help you choose the perfect spread. Then you can celebrate and get back together. Register to win your family reunion now at WHBC.com. The winner will be announced on June 25th. 1480 WHBC and That Little Italian Kitchen. We're all about family, friends, and food.
Want to turn your old, rusty hunk of junk in for a nicer ride, but think it's